So when we are looking at our outside camping or looking to get to that position, what we're looking for is to flank the feet. So that just means that like when I enter, I don't want his feet to be like me to have to enter through his feet. I need to get around those feet, right? So now when I enter in, it's just, it's frames, right? It's knees, hands, and stuff like this here, right? So basically all we would need to do is frame at the ankles, step off to the side here, right? And now from here, I have my flank. Now I'm gonna look to connect my forearm with the crease of his hip. So this hand is gonna come to the inside, and I'm looking to take my forearm, like right, stay turned towards me, Jacob. Like my forearm right into his hip right here, right? I don't wanna make the mistake of being like this here, because like if I'm here, he's able to bring his knee inside pretty easily. Bring your knee inside. Well, you can lasso or bring your knee back through. Yeah, boom. He brings that knee through and then he knocks me out, right? So either one is an issue, right? The lasso is an issue and the knee inside is an issue. So what we want is we want to have our forearm right across the crease of the hip and our hand should be kind of free, right? So we shouldn't be, again, pushing off our hand. Our hand should be able to be kind of moving around in here if our weight's in the right spot. My inside hand is going to go down onto his knee, thumb behind the knee, 4 fingers up on the quad here. We're going to be in a tripod position and I want to put my forehead right into Jacob's shoulder right here, right? And now this is called a camp for a reason, right? We want to sit here and stay here for a bit. I want to tax Jacob, right? He's going to be trying to stay on the side. He's going to be trying to keep his knees in tight. And I'm just looking to hold this position until I feel like Jacob maybe starts to tire out. And when I feel like he starts to tire out, all I'm going to do is circle towards his feet. I'm going to push this knee back towards his feet. And I'm really important, I'm going to open this elbow. Opening this elbow will bring his hips to the other side. So I'm in here, and again, when I feel ready, I circle back, and we finish that pass here, okay? So again, we get to the side, we get to our flank, hand weaves inside. If you guys go over the top here, obviously, we won't have a good elbow position. The knee will be inside. So we get our flank, we get inside here, right? If Jacob is framing on my shoulder, then I need to go down, I need to go up and over, and I need to go kind of backwards to break that frame down, right? So I spin my chin over the top, go back, and then I insert my forehead right here. Now we just kind of wait, and then again, when I feel ready, we circle to break him down there, okay? Now, that's a nice basic way to flank, just by grabbing. This will work pretty well too, right? Just framing those ankles and stepping to the side. But if you guys want to get a more exaggerated flank, you can spin your partner. So I'm going to take his legs down and swing them up and out. I like to kind of wind up, so I'm going to swing in, swing him through, and I find my way in right here. Now, my head gets in. Again, if he's framing on the shoulder, I circle over, bring the forehead in, and I'm just here, right? And remember, partner on bottom has to stay on their side, because if they're not on their side and he goes to his back, I have nowhere to place my weight, but he's giving up the pass, right? The only reason I can't pass right now is because the frames are pointed at me, right? If he was to go up like this, the frames are no longer pointed at me, so I could just crawl into a pass right here, right? So be a good partner on bottom. Make sure your partner has a place to put their weight, right? On the side, now my weight can come in on Jacob. If he's on his back, like there's nowhere for me to place my weight, right? And I wouldn't have to do this, I would just pass. So make sure once we get to that flank, our partner's facing us and we get into our outside camping position. And then when we're ready, we circle and finish. Okay? Questions on that? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. So sometimes when you guys enter into this, you'll end up, so let's go. Where's the best place? Let's go here, all right? Sometimes you guys will enter into this, and when you get in, this hand will be a little high, and that's okay, right? But I don't want to keep it here, right? So you see where my hand is at? It's not so much about where my hand is at, but it's where my elbow's at. So with my elbow here, now when Jacob tries to bring his knee to the inside, he's gonna be able to do so, right? I wanna make sure that, again, even if I land here, I'm taking it down, right? Even if I get to here first, but I wanna make sure I bring that elbow back. So now when Jacob tries to bring his knee to the inside, it's a lot tougher for him to do so. And it's just because that elbow was way back here instead of being up here, okay? So I just saw a couple of you guys doing that, so just make sure that If you guys are swinging, you guys are like entering like more dynamically, which is awesome. You're getting into here and you end up here, boom, just replace that and make sure you get that elbow into position. So you guys are in it, because what'll happen is you'll be here and you'll be camping and it'll open that knee up and you'll fall into like a pretty bad position right here. I'm gonna fall right into him and I really don't want this, okay? So just keep practicing this a little bit. Make sure if you guys are making that mistake, realize it and try to fix that detail if you can, okay? All right, 1, 2, 3. So same thing, let's say like we're here and he's in open guard and I'm trying to hit my flank and I can't hit my flank, right? He's following me here. So this is an opportunity for me to drop into a split squat. We drop in here, so back this way a little bit. So I drop in, he's gonna have that knee shield in, right? So if I get inside the knee shield, awesome, and it should be pretty easy for me to pass through here. But more times than not, they're probably gonna end up with this knee shield here. So from here, especially if I can't get past this knee shield, maybe I'm trying to weigh into it, move it out of the way, it's not happening, I'm going to switch to my pinch. So my outside hand is gonna come to the shoulder, my inside hand is gonna come to the ankle right here. Important you guys are using your thumbs. Like don't just make grips here and grips here. I wanna get my thumb into his armpit here. Really that's all I'm using, stay on your side. That's really all I'm using, it's just my thumb here. My thumb catches this ankle here. So I can like have open grips here and it's just fine, right? I'm gonna stand, and as I stand, before his knee rolls up to the ceiling, I wanna step my outside leg in to pinch here, stay on your side, right? I'm gonna pinch right here, right? Now, if we put a lot of force into pinning him to the mat, I'm gonna take myself too far forward. He's gonna be able to knock my hands out over to the mat and he's gonna get behind me. I don't care to have his shoulder pinned. I would just like his shoulder to stay outside of 45, right? So I don't want him turned to this position, just want him here. And bottom partners should be doing a good job of trying to stay on their side, right? Again, so we have a place to place our weight here. So I'm in here and I wanna pinch, I'm pinching his knee right here. If this is open, it's pretty easy for him to take this leg up around and start reaping right here or lacing through. It doesn't even have to be a reap. So I'm pinching, I'm framing this ankle. This ankle is also important because if this leg comes around, boom, now he's getting out behind me and intertwining that leg. So we're here, we're monitoring everything. Now from here, when I feel ready to go to my high step, I drop my knee, I lean all my weight on my left hand. Now I want Jacob pinned. Now I'm gonna extract this leg straight up to the ceiling. We take it out, okay? From here, we finish the pass by sliding through, facing the hips. If he follows, so if when I go from my pinch to my high step, any high legs, right, to follow, then I'm just gonna pummel my heel through his hips and end up in our knee on belly here, okay? So we're in split squat, frame the ankle, frame the shoulder, I get to my pinch right here. Now when I feel ready, and like this is new to you guys, have your partner struggle a little bit. I want you guys to feel, go ahead and try to off balance me a little bit. I want you guys to kind of feel the position. And then when you feel ready, so when we go into our back step here, okay? Or again, if he high legs, when I go for my back step, I just change direction. With the foot still up, change direction to front pummel there. Okay? Questions on that?
You talk about maintenance. Is this something where we can hold for a couple seconds or we want quick?
So I wanna feel like when I'm here doing maintenance here, this is not a position where I'm gonna be able to maintain for a very long time, right? But as you're moving around, I can decide whether it's right for me to go into my high step. Maybe I feel like I'm losing you and I go into my high step, or maybe I feel like you get your knee out and then I can go back to a split squat, right? So this pinch position, guys, like Jacob's asking, like work on maintenance a lot. That's just getting to a position. And the longer that you can hold that position over time, the more opportunities you guys will have to score. It's really important. So from a position like this, maintenance is for sure important. The longer you can hold this, the more opportunities you guys will have. But it's not a position where you're gonna be able to stay there for like a really long time. But with that being said, this position is very important. We've been drilling this a lot, and a lot of people have just been going here, here, and then going to this and skipping this position altogether. If you skip this position altogether, when I think about that committing, that's like Dustin Poirier jumping a guillotine, right? It's like you're committing to something, you're probably gonna end up in a bad position, it might work out for you, right? As opposed to, right, getting to here, right? And now I can make a read. I'm here, and I'm like, okay, oh, I think I can high step, boom, I catch it, right? Or I'm here in this position, he starts getting his leg out, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get back to where I started, right? So the more checkpoints we can have, the more steps we can have in between start and execution, the more opportunities we'll have to like stay in a threatening position rather than like going all the way back to zero, if that makes sense. Long-winded, but yeah. Okay, all right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Start working on now meshing these two things together. So this is where it gets like pretty important, because I think honestly like the high step on its own will not lead you into very many passes, just because it's like it's like a loose position, right? So like when I hit my high step here, no matter how I get through, like when I finish, you guys like look how far away my chest is from his chest, my head is from his head, right? It's pretty likely that he's gonna start bringing his knees up to his chest and framing in front of me here, right? But if you guys look, I have a flank, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go from this position where I'm still hanging on to these grips. I'm gonna weave this hand to the inside. I'm gonna stuff this knee. We're gonna get to our head post, right? And now we can do the same thing we did before, right? So now what I want you guys working on is going through to your high step, going through to your split squat, pinch, high step. On the high step, bottom person, knees to chest, start bringing your frames in. When we see that, we go right to our outside camping, okay? So we're in, and no matter how we get out, whether we front pummel or we high step, once I get through here, my partner's gonna start bringing the knees in. One thing I like to do here, slide out this way. One thing I like to do here is when this knee is in, instead of like being really far out, I still want to be tight. So I like to kind of drive my knee into a shin right here. So this makes it really hard for him to move. And then now from here I weave in. And now once this hand comes off of the shoulder, I can expect he's going to turn towards me. And as he does turn towards me, we slide right into our camp, right? And now I'm just weighing on my partner, right? Until I feel like the time is right. And we hit our pass, okay? So get to our split, get to our pinch, we go high step, Jacob starts bringing those knees in, we get right to this. And now from here, we're just waiting, okay? Waiting, maintaining. I'd say it's a good idea to start having your partner try to start recovering from here, just so you guys can start understanding how you want to stay. And then you guys will start to feel your partner start to break down. And once they start breaking down, you can just finish that pass, okay? Questions on that? Understood? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. I want to show you guys something here. Another option, because I see that we're having a little bit of difficulty after the high step, maybe like getting the right angle to get into our outside camp. So once we do our high step here and we get out and he starts framing inside. Now, I kind of talked about already how I like to keep this way. So I like to keep this like shin, like this leg crowded here, right? This is where it becomes hard, because like if I come out and I get away from him, and now he's gonna bring his knees down, and it's gonna be hard for me to find that angle to get my hands in. So when I extract this leg and we go through and he starts bringing the knees in, yeah, see, I wanna stay here. I wanna stay heavy on this. And if I feel like I need more time, what I can do is I can start pulling on his head too, okay? I can pull on his head here, I can pull on his head here too. So now, because in order for him to recover his guard, his head needs to go away from me. So go ahead. He can't, right? But now look, if I let it go recover. You see how he can recover there, right? So if I need some more time, I crowd and I pull here, right? And this can actually be a camping position, right? I can just get to here and camp in here. And he really has nowhere to go besides straightening that leg out and letting me fall in right here, right? Or we can just make it so that we're here, right? And then when I feel ready, I can get to my traditional outside camping position, okay? So let's try to put a little bit more intention in when we high step out and that leg comes through, we crowd it. And then if you guys want, pull on the head, find your grips, and get to it here, okay? All right, couple more minutes, here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, okay, so last thing is gonna be the opposite. So we did the high step leading us into our camp, and now we're gonna have our camp lead us into our high step, right? So what happens kind of a lot of times is we get our flank, we're here, and maybe we start to drift too far back towards his feet. Maybe he's able to bring his knee up high enough, but he hooks this leg right here, right? So now the camp is done. I can't step out of this. So my best option is to slide in to my split squat here, right? So we're gonna slide right into our split squat, and you guys can obviously see where we can go into our high step from here. If Jacob doesn't do anything here though, from this position, I should just knee cut, right? So if he keeps this knee here, I should just slide through a knee cut, right? But Jacob's gonna be a good boy, and he's gonna get a knee shield in, right? Boom, he gets that knee shield in. So now that the knee shield's in, there's no more knee cut, because if I did knee cut, this frame is gonna stop me from being able to finish here, right? So once that frame goes in, that is our cue to get to our pinch and get to our high step finish here, right? So you guys kind of see how like this is the shit that I like, because my brain doesn't have a lot of computing power. So it's like 2 moves. One leads to the other, and the other leads to the one, right? And we just can go back and forth between 2 things and not have to go through a bunch of different details, right? So we hit our flank. I'm in here, right? I'm holding. He's doing a good. I'm like, he's got me. So I slide right in, right? And if he does nothing, we knee cut, but he's gonna get the knee shield in. We frame, get to our pinch, take this out, right? And then you guys see how we can make this like almost like an endless offensive cycle. So I could go here, he hooks, boom, I get to this, he brings the knee shield in, I get to my pinch, I get out, he starts framing, I get to this, he hooks, I get back to this, maybe I can find my knee cut here, right? But you guys see how these cycles are, this thing is like a cycle where it just goes, this could stop, go back to this, that could stop, go back to that, right? Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And the whole idea is that we are threatening. I have offensive options and Jacob has none, or a lot less than me, right? That's always what I'm thinking when I'm passing is, how can I be in a position where the bottom person's offensive options are limited and I have more, right? So like one of those things would be like, if we're here, Jacob has pretty much as many offensive options as I do, right? So small thing is I just change that from here to here. Now I have a lot more offensive options. Now I can start going into what we're working before, right? Right into my pinch stuff, right? If I'm here, Jacob has probably more offensive options than me, right? But if I'm here, now it's all me, boom. And if I'm here, it's for sure all me. He has absolutely nothing. All he has now is recovery, right? So the more that we can keep that stress on our partner's guard and on bottom person, you guys will find yourself just kind of falling into passes, right? We stop thinking about getting to side control, and we start thinking about just getting to these places where our partner's threatened. And then before you know it, without even thinking about securing a pass, you'll fall into a pass. And then once you fall into that pass, he's dead tired. Then you go to mount, and you take the back, and then the subs come very easy, right? The whole thing is just about, we start here with our energy bar, right? And I'm just sapping his. I'm not even trying to score. I'm sapping his. Mine is going down at a rate, but his is going down a lot faster. And by the time I do score, his bar is here, mine is here. And then it's just score until we get the kill. Okay? Cool? Does that make sense? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.